I'm Eric Scripseth, and this is my proposal for founding a Moshannon Creek Watershed Association. This is a map of the watershed. The stream meanders considerably, but generally flows from the southwest to the northeast. It is the county line between Center and Clearfield counties in Pennsylvania for most of its length. This graph shows acidity flowing into the west branch of the Susquehanna. There are two spikes on this graph, one at the junction with Clearfield Creek and the other at the junction with Moshannon Creek. There has been steady improvement on Clearfield Creek, not as much on Moshannon. What is different? Clearfield Creek has an active watershed association with a well-respected technical advisor. They have been successful at completing recovery plans for sections of the watershed and getting funding for treatment systems. Moshannon Creek had a watershed group known as the Moshannon Creek Watershed Coalition. They were very dependent on their founder and struggled when he retired and moved away. They shut down in 2014. They were successful at getting recovery plans for much of the watershed, but they were not as successful at getting funding for completing treatment systems for improving the water. How will this new group be different? We'll start with a leadership team in order to avoid overdependence on the founder. We'll have at least one, maybe several, credible technical advisors as part of the team. We'll get members from inside and outside of the watershed. There just are not enough people inside the watershed to tackle a problem of this size. We'll use social media messaging patterned on the Eastern Pennsylvania Coalition for Abandoned Mine Reclamation, who happens to be quite good at it. We'll identify small projects that we can complete early in the life of the organization, even if we have to resort to crowdsourcing money because grants are hard to find. That way, we will not have the frustrations that progress simply isn't being made. We're also going to manage expectations. This is a big project. This is going to take a while. If it was easy, someone would have already done it. If it was trivial, it wouldn't be worth bothering with. Maybe the junction of the West Branch and Moshannon Creek does not have to look like this. A technical assistance grant has been applied for from Trout Unlimited to help with the startup process for the group. This was done at their suggestion. The domain name MoshannonCreek.org has been obtained. This was the same name used by the previous group, and there are still references all over the place on the web for the previous group that use this domain name. And hopefully, we may have found a technical advisor for the group. There's a watershed manager for the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection who is interested in this project. This last slide is going to be a video of the watershed, of the water at one of the popular boating takeout points that shows that even though this stream has its problems, it is still a beautiful stream.
This is Moshannon Creek, near where it is crossed by Pennsylvania Highway 53, west of the village of Moshannon, Pennsylvania. This stream coming in from the side is Black Moshannon Creek. In this downstream direction, we are looking towards the west branch of the Susquehanna River. Upstream are the towns of Phillipsburg, Osceola Mills, and Houtsdale. The red color that you see in the rocks and the stream bed is due to iron, and that is precipitating out of water that is impacted by abandoned mine drainage. This is Moshannon Creek, near where it is crossed by Pennsylvania Highway 53, west of the village of Moshannon, Pennsylvania. This stream coming in from the side is Black Moshannon Creek. In this downstream direction, we are looking towards the west branch of the Susquehanna River. Upstream are the towns of Phillipsburg, Osceola Mills, and Houtsdale. The red color that you see in the rocks and the stream bed is due to iron, and that is precipitating out of water that is impacted by abandoned mine draining.